What if I told you that a school teacher, not a Wall Street trader, not a tech billionaire, took $50,000 that was supposed to be a house down payment and turned it into $590,000 without picking a single stock, without any insider information, and without any special skills? Her name was Margaret. And the moment she acted? March 2009. The entire world was in financial freefall. Everyone thought she had lost her mind. She didn't. And today I'm going to show you why history is quietly setting up a moment that could be even bigger than what Margaret walked into. And most people have absolutely no idea it's happening. Let's go back to March 9th, 2009. The S&P 500 closed at 676 points. Lehman Brothers had collapsed 6 months earlier. Retirement accounts were cut in half. Headlines were screaming about the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. Most Americans were paralyzed by fear, but Margaret, a school teacher, did something almost insane. She took the $50,000 she'd been saving for a house down payment and invested all of it in a simple S&P 500 index fund. Her friends thought she'd lost her mind. Her family begged her to wait until things stabilized. And Margaret? She ignored every single one of them. Today, that investment is worth approximately $590,000. She didn't need genius. She didn't need connections. She just needed to act when everyone else was frozen by fear. And that's the lesson that unlocks everything I'm about to show you. Because the people who become wealthy, they don't always see the future more clearly. They just recognize a moment and ACT. I want you to pay very close attention to what I'm about to say, because this is the number that will define the next 25 years of wealth creation in America. $124 trillion is changing hands over the next 2 decades, and most people, including maybe the person watching this right now, have zero idea it's happening. This is what researchers call the Great Wealth Transfer. Baby boomers, people born between 1946 and 1964, currently control about 52% of all wealth in the United States. The youngest boomers are 62 this year. The oldest are approaching 80. Over the next 2 decades, this wealth is going to flow to their children, their grandchildren, and to charities, on a scale that has never happened in recorded human history. To put $124 trillion into perspective, it exceeds the entire annual economic output of every country on Earth combined. It's more than 5 times the current U.S. national debt, and it dwarfs the pandemic stimulus package by 25 times. Now here's the thing. This isn't just about who gets an inheritance. This is about what happens to the entire economy when $124 trillion starts moving. And that's where the opportunity lives for regular people. Let me show you what happened after Margaret made her move in 2009, because the story of who actually got rich in the decade that followed will surprise most people. In 2010, the United States had approximately 8.4 million millionaire households. By the end of 2024, that number had nearly tripled to almost 24 million. Where did these new millionaires come from? The vast majority were not entrepreneurs who sold companies or executives with stock options. They were teachers, nurses, accountants, small business owners, people who simply kept investing through their 401ks and IRAs while everyone else panicked. According to UBS's Global Wealth Report, the United States added 379,000 new millionaires in 2024 alone. That's more than 1,000 new millionaires every single day. Globally, the group researchers call everyday millionaires, people with 1 to 5 million in net worth, has quadrupled since 2000 to 52 million people. They collectively control over $17 trillion in wealth. And the path to joining them? It's documented, it's repeatable, and it's about to get easier. Let's talk specifically about where this money is going, because understanding the flow is how you position yourself in front of it. Generation X, the so-called forgotten generation, will inherit approximately $39 trillion over the next 25 years. That's about $1.4 trillion per year flowing to people who are right now caught between caring for aging parents and supporting their own kids. Millennials will receive approximately $46 trillion. But here's the detail most people miss. This windfall will arrive just as many millennials are entering their peak earning years. Inherited capital compounding alongside career income. Do you understand what that does to wealth? It's multiplicative. And even Generation Z will begin receiving significant inheritances as the transfer accelerates through the 2030s and 40s. Yes, but here's the critical detail. The opportunity isn't just about inheritance. Cerulli Associates estimates that roughly 62% of the wealth being transferred comes from high net worth households, which is only about 2% of all households. So most families will inherit more modest sums, or nothing at all. You probably won't be in that group. And that's okay. Because the real opportunity? It's what this money does when it moves. When trillions flow into investment accounts, asset prices rise. When heirs buy homes, real estate appreciates. When inherited capital funds businesses, jobs get created. The wealth transfer creates rising tides across multiple asset classes simultaneously, and everyone who's positioned in the water feels it. Hey, congratulations for staying with me this far. You are already ahead of 95% of people who will never even hear about the $124 trillion wealth transfer. If this is already blowing your mind, do me a quick favor right now. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video with one person in your life who needs to hear it. It only takes 3 seconds, and it could change someone's financial future. Now, let's keep going, because we are just getting to the good part. In 2009, 3 conditions aligned to create extraordinary wealth for people who recognized the moment. Number 1. Assets were dramatically undervalued after the market fell 57% from its peak. Number 2. A massive injection of capital was coming, through government stimulus and quantitative easing. Number 3. Most people were too scared or too broke to take advantage. Only the people who stayed calm and stayed invested captured the gains. Now look at our current moment. The mechanism is different. Markets aren't crashed, but the underlying dynamics, they rhyme perfectly. The capital injection isn't coming from government this time. It's coming from the wealthiest generation in history, passing assets to their children, at a scale that makes every government stimulus program in history look small. For context, the entire pandemic relief effort totaled approximately $5 trillion. The wealth transfer is 25 times that amount flowing through the economy over the next 2 decades. And just like 2009, most people don't know it's happening. Until now. You know now. Here's something critical that most coverage gets wrong. When this $124 trillion transfers to younger generations, it won't be invested the same way boomers invested it. The preferences are completely different. Research from Bank of America shows that 72% of investors between ages 21 and 43 believe it's no longer possible to achieve above-average returns using only traditional stocks and bonds. 72%. That's not a fringe opinion. That's a generational shift in how trillions will be deployed. So where's the money going? Artificial intelligence infrastructure is already capturing enormous capital. In 2026, companies in this space are driving market returns. Clean energy, healthcare innovation, digital assets. These sectors are positioned to capture disproportionate shares of redirected wealth. This doesn't mean you abandon traditional investments. It means you understand that capital flows are shifting, and you position accordingly. The sectors that attracted boomer capital may underperform relative to sectors attracting millennial and Gen Z capital. And there's an entire category of professional opportunity here, too. When $124 trillion changes hands, whole industries grow just to facilitate the transfer. Financial planning, estate administration, tax advisory, wealth management, legal services, real estate, trust, and estate work. If you work in any of these fields, or if you're willing to learn, you're sitting on a career gold mine for the next 2 decades. Let's make this concrete. Consider a 35-year-old today, let's call her you, who invests $500 every single month in diversified index funds for the next 25 years. That's roughly the duration of the great wealth transfer. That's less than many people spend on subscriptions they forgot they have. At the historical average market return of 10% annually, That $150,000 in contributions becomes approximately $665,000. At a more conservative 7%, it becomes roughly $450,000. Now add just 1 percentage point of extra growth from the wealth transfer tailwinds, and these numbers shift meaningfully. The 7% becomes 8%. The outcomes jump significantly, and if you increase monthly contributions as your career progresses, the numbers scale accordingly. 1%. Don't underestimate 1%. The S&P 500 has crossed remarkable milestones in recent years: 5,000 in early 2024, 6,000 in late 2024, and 7,000 in January 2026. Those who stayed invested through every headline that said the rally was ending, they captured every single one of those milestones. Goldman Sachs research shows that missing just the 10 best market days since 2009 cut returns from approximately 17% annually down to 12%. Missing the 25 best days cut returns nearly in half. And the best days? They almost always happen during the most terrifying moments when fear is at its highest. Stay invested. Here is the exact action framework based on everything we just covered. 6 steps. None of them require you to be rich to start. Step 1. Maximize tax-advantaged accounts. Max out your 401k. The 2026 limit is $23,500, with an extra $7,500 if you're 50 or older. Max your IRA. Use your HSA if eligible. These accounts let wealth compound without annual tax drag. This is non-negotiable. Step 2. Maintain broad equity market exposure. Don't try to pick winning sectors. Own the entire market through low-cost index funds. And as $124 trillion flows into various investments, you capture the aggregate rise. Step 3. Develop skills that serve wealth movement. Finance, estate planning, real estate, wealth advisory. People in these fields will see massive demand for the next 20 years. Even part-time expertise creates opportunity. Think about which ones fit your life. Step 4. Build cash reserves for opportunistic deployment. The wealth transfer will create moments of dislocation, temporary mispricings. Having capital ready when others are forced to sell is a superpower. Step 5. Think in decades, not months. The transfer spans 25 years. Short-term market movements are noise. Long-term participation is the signal. Extend your time horizon deliberately. Stop watching the daily number. Look at the horizon. Step 6. Have the family conversation. Whether you're in a position to potentially receive inheritance or to leave wealth, proper estate planning now means more efficient transfers later. Start the conversation this week, not someday. Call your family. The United States has experienced a handful of genuine wealth creation events that transformed ordinary people into millionaires at scale. The post-World War II boom, the bull market from 1982 through 2000, the recovery from 2009 through today. Each of these events minted millionaires who simply participated in economic expansion. No genius required, no insider access needed, just presence and patience. The Great Wealth Transfer is the next chapter in that same story. $124 trillion will move over 25 years. Economic activity will accelerate. Asset prices will be supported. Opportunities will emerge. The question was never whether the transfer will happen. It's already happening right now. The only real question is whether you will be positioned to benefit. Margaret didn't know in 2009 that she was capturing a once-in-a-generation opportunity. She simply recognized that fear had created value, and she acted. That was her story. This is yours. The opportunity today is different in mechanism, but identical in scale. Trillions of dollars are moving. Millions of new millionaires will be created. History will record this period as a defining wealth creation event. You now know it's happening. You know the scale. You know the timeline. You know the strategies that position regular people to benefit. The only thing left is what you do with what you know. So, what are you going to do? So here is what I need you to do right now. Open your 401k or IRA this week and max it out. If you haven't started one, start today. Even with a small amount, put it in a broad S&P 500 index fund and leave it alone. Have the estate planning conversation with your family, not someday this week, and share this video with someone who deserves to know what you now know. Drop the word "ready" in the comments right now if you are taking action today. I read every single one, and if you are not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, because I break down wealth strategies like this every single week, and you do not want to miss what is coming next.